My friend, there's one truth I'm sure none of us wants to accept. We will grow older, and we will grow weaker, and that is not a tragedy. It's as natural as the sun rising and setting, as a green leaf slowly turning yellow, then returning to the earth. Growing old isn't a mistake in life. It's part of life's design. If you sit still for a moment and look deeply, you can almost feel this. Every cell in your body is always changing. Every second that passes is a cycle of arising and fading, like waves forming and dissolving across a vast ocean. We can't stop a river from flowing into the sea. We can't force the seasons to stay forever in spring. And we can't command our legs to move as fast as they once did, or demand that our hands stay strong and smooth when health no longer allows it and time has quietly done its work. One day you'll notice it in small ways. You stand up a little slower, your knees begin to speak, and sometimes you forget a name for a few seconds. It can feel unfair. It can feel like something is being taken from you. But if you look at it another way, a gentler way, and maybe a truer way, when the house of the body begins to age, the owner of that house, your mind, finally has the chance to become stronger than ever. This isn't just something that sounds nice, it's something you can verify in real life. Think about the Walk for Peace journey. After nearly 100 days of walking through sun and rain, high winds and snowstorms, if we said the body isn't tired, wouldn't that sound almost unbelievable? Skin can crack from cold and weather. Weight can drop. Joints can ache after tens of thousands of steps. From a biological point of view, the body is being worn down. And yet, right in that weakening of the body, the strength of the spirit can rise, clear and powerful. When the feet want to stop because of pain, the will doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need drama. It only needs to speak steadily. Just one more step. This sharp pain, this cold, this heaviness, it will pass. And when the body curls inward against the wind, the inner fire, the wish to spread peace, burns even brighter, as if the heart refuses to freeze. The body is like iron. The mind is like fire. Time and hardship can rust iron. They can thin it out. They can leave marks. But a fire that has been trained, a fire that understands what it lives for, burns hotter and more faithfully, even when the body begins to tremble. So please, don't fight your body when it grows weaker. Don't treat aging like an enemy you must defeat. Instead, see the limits of the body as a doorway, an opportunity to train what can become limitless, your mind, your heart, and your awareness. In many places, people are taught to measure life by performance, faster, stronger, younger, more productive, more impressive. People celebrate the hustle, the grind, the breakthrough, the peak. And when the body begins to slow down, the mind can panic, believing it is losing value, less lovable, less worthy, less important. But the spirit of Walk for Peace points us in another direction. Your value is not your speed. Your dignity is not your strength. What makes you precious is not your appearance. Peace does not depend on the body staying perfect. Peace depends on the heart learning to meet life the way it truly works, even as it keeps changing. When you can accept that, something softens inside. You stop arguing with reality. You stop spending your energy on a war you can't win. And that energy, so long wasted on resistance, can finally be used for something more beautiful. Presence, compassion, courage, and clarity. That's why some people become gentler as they get older, not because life becomes easier, but because they stop demanding that life be different. They see what matters, and they choose what matters. They understand Yes, the body is aging, but the mind can become wiser. The heart can grow wider. The spirit can become stronger. This is not passive acceptance. This is not giving up. This is another kind of strength. The strength to say, I will care for this body, but I will not cling to it, because clinging creates fear. When you cling to youth, every wrinkle becomes a threat. When you cling to strength, every ache becomes a warning. When you cling to the body as if it were who you are, then when it changes, you feel like you are disappearing. And suddenly, even a small change can create great suffering. But if you see the body as a temporary home, precious, yes, but still temporary, then you can care for it without worshiping it. You can respect it without panicking. You can love it without being bound. So yes, take care of this body. Eat in ways that support calmness and health. Sleep enough when you can. Walk, stretch, breathe, drink water. See a doctor when you don't feel well. Support this body with kindness and understanding. But please remember, the body is not the whole story. Some people look strong, but inside they are collapsing from anger, anxiety, emptiness, constant comparison. And some people are physically weak. That is a kind of strength the body cannot give you. When you can't run, you begin to notice the sky. When you can't push through, you learn how to pause. When you can't control everything, you learn humility. And when you can't keep up with the speed of the world, you begin to live at the rhythm of your own breath. And suddenly, you return to real life instead of racing past it. Walk for peace is not only walking across land, it is also walking across inner terrain. Impatience, fear, self-judgment, pride, exhaustion, doubt. The outer road reflects the inner road. A long pilgrimage teaches something simple and deeply true. Some days you feel strong. Some days you feel weak, but you keep walking. And you learned that weak is not the end. Weak is a condition, like weather, like a passing cloud. If you can remember that, you'll be less afraid of your difficult days. Like pine trees on a high mountain, thin, weathered, sometimes twisted by wind, yet their roots go deep into rock and soil. They're not beautiful because they're perfect. They're beautiful because they're steady, because they learned how to stand where life placed them. And in the same way, your body will grow older. Your hands will wrinkle. One day, your legs may tremble. But your inner roots can deepen. Your steadiness can grow. Your kindness can become unshakable. So the question isn't, how do I stop myself from aging? The wiser question is, how do I age beautifully? And aging beautifully doesn't mean keeping everything the same. It means learning to release what must be released without bitterness and nurturing what can still grow. So what can still grow? Gratitude can grow. Patience can grow. Forgiveness can grow. And the habit of returning to the breath can grow again and again in every season. When you're young, you might think freedom means having many options. But as you mature, you begin to see freedom is not being controlled by craving. Freedom is knowing what you can let go of. Freedom is peace with change. And Walk for Peace reminds us, even if my body is tired, I can still offer peace. Peace isn't only a big idea. Sometimes peace is ordinary, close, simple, within reach. It's how you speak when you're stressed. It's how you look at someone who's hurting. It's how you refuse to pass your pain on to others. It's how you keep your heart open, even when your outer life becomes smaller. Age can shrink your outer world. Less travel, less energy, less speed. But it can also expand your inner world. More depth, more meaning, more tenderness, more truth. And one day, you may realize this. Your body didn't betray you. Time didn't steal your life. Life was simply inviting you, little by little, to move from the strength of muscles to the strength of wisdom. So, my friend, please don't panic when you see yourself changing. Don't treat every limitation as an insult. Don't measure your soul by stamina. Don't compare your chapter to someone else's highlight reel. Practice this. Care for your body like you care for a beloved companion who has carried you through this world. And train your mind like you're training a lamp that can light the path even when the night grows long. Because one day, your legs may tremble, but if your heart has been trained, your gaze will remain calm, like hills beneath a wide sky. And that calm gaze, that steady presence, more than youth, more than strength, will be your deepest beauty. And then you can say, quietly and sincerely, yes, I am aging. Yes, I am weaker in some ways, but my mind is clearer. My spirit is stronger. And I am still walking, step by step, toward peace. My friend, may you always be safe. May you always be peaceful. Namo Buddha.